Alright, what's going on, everyone? So, this article was linked to me a couple of days ago now. So, obviously, it was posted on the 10th of October, so 3 days ago, pretty much. It now confirms the partnership between Big Ant and Big Ben. So, wasn't completely confirmed, but now we've essentially got that confirmation. Also, confirms Nadal, Barty and Kerber back for the second game. So had a bit of a discussion with someone on Twitter about the fact that, because Big Ben's now involved and they got the deals done for Roland Garros and a couple other things, will those stadiums, players and all that sort of stuff, will there be a deal in place that actually brings them to AO Tennis 2, or will they be exclusive to Tennis World Tour? I responded and said I suppose it depends on how they worked out the contract with those stadiums and players and whatnot. Obviously, Nadal and Kerber are in both games, so there's probably no issue with that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. There is an official release date now, with being the 9th of January 2020. So I think that's around about a week before the tournament kicks off. The first game launched on day one of the tournament, so hopefully if there's any major issues, in all honesty, I can't see it being as bad as what the first game launched. I mean, that was just god awful. I would imagine the second game will pick up where the last game left off. Hopefully they've made some significant improvements where the last game left off, because there was an update in January of this year, but that was more cosmetic. It just added a couple of stadiums and things like that. Didn't really change gameplay too much, in my opinion. The only thing I felt it changed was the difficulty. Playing the game on the highest difficulty, it seemed easier than what it did for the prior update, which was back in August of last year. So when you look at it, the last real sort of gameplay changes weren't really that they're pretty much over a year ago now. So you would hope that, being there a gap of was it 17 months or so between the last sort of major gameplay update for the first game and the second game launching, you would hope that they've sort of made some inroads into gameplay going forward rather than backwards. So I know one thing a lot of people want to see is that weird looking forehand that happens in the first game to be overhauled for the animations, because most forehands in the game just look absolutely horrendous, and there's a lot to be worked on, put it that way. But and I feel like they should have preset preset ball speed, whether it be through the air, off the court, things like that, for each court type, rather than just letting the player fiddle around with sliders and stuff like that, because I think that really takes away from the simulation experience, because unfortunately the way the ball moves through the air and off the court is the same. It doesn't change. So particularly with clay gameplay, it just doesn't feel like it should. But I understand that's probably going to be a difficult thing to achieve for any developer, but it would be nice to see a little bit of difference, apart from user defined sliders, to it's really difficult to explain, but it just doesn't feel like you're actually playing on clay. It feels like a modified version of playing on hard, really. It's the same with grass as well. Obviously grass is quite slick. You would expect a lot of aces on grass courts, but that's another thing that they need to really look at, because in the game's history, the first game's history, it was either you could really ace whenever you wanted, or it pretty much never happened. So that's pretty much how it went with acing your opponent. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like, there's still no official sort of announcement from Big Ben, or well, I don't know about Big Ben actually, but there's still no official announcement from Big Ant. I can't look at still can't look at their Twitter page because I'm still blocked. Thank you, Ross. But I suppose we'll see. Like, I have another page that I look at their page to see when they post stuff. So, which they obviously don't know about. So, probably another month or so before we see maybe like an official cover art for the game or something like that. I wouldn't expect to see gameplay right up until release, much like the first game, although I think they were kind of hiding how bad the game was at that point. So I don't know, I've never really understood their way of marketing or publicising a game in the build up to a release, but it is what it is. So we shall see what happens.